The mental ray production shaders is a set of shaders that adds some very powerful rendering features to 3ds Max 2009. In this brief video, we look at a few of them to match a scene lighting and to create fast motion blur effects. In this scene, we have a model that we want to render over a background image and make sure the lighting matches it, so that the model looks like it really belongs in that environment. We start with just a simple target photometric light to simulate the sun, and a skylight set to use the environment as its map. We have a background in the viewport for reference for position and perspective, not an environment yet, so if we render, it's white. We want to have shadows on the background using a matte material for the ground plane, and we also want to create a perfect match for lighting and reflections. The new mental ray production shaders can do that with just two images, the background and a picture of a mirror ball cropped to the ball edges. First, we need to use the production shader environment background camera map and assign the background image. Then, we need the environment probe chrome ball and assign the mirror ball image. We can now start creating the environment, starting from the matte material for the ground plane. We create a matte shadow reflection material and assign the background to it. Also, we make sure it receives shadows, uses ambient occlusion, and receives direct illumination. Once this material is assigned to the ground plane, at render time, it will show the background but overlay the shadow. Then we create an environment background switcher shader to separate primary rays from reflection and refraction rays, so that they use the proper background image, the background itself for primary rays, and a mirror ball for reflections and refraction rays. This shader can now be assigned to the scene environment map. And this is all it's needed. If we render now, we will see that everything looks correct. Shadows, lighting, and reflections. The object really looks like it's part of the scene. With the environment ready, we can substitute any object in the scene, and they will always match the environment. Teapots or tanks. The second shader we present here is the HDR image motion blur. Assign this shader as the output shader for mental ray. If you need to change its parameters, drag and drop it to a slot in the material editor. The scene has an animated object crossing the screen. Let's select a frame and render. This shader will automatically blur all the moving objects in the scene by smearing pixels in a post-rendering effect. This is an extremely fast way to get motion blur, and even if it's not as accurate as the standard sampled motion blur, it's realistic and will speed up renderings considerably.